Chapter 14. Patrick. The impending date with Piper remains at the forefront of my mind the rest of the day. So much so that I realize as I head to pick Amelia up that I haven't planned who would watch her. Though I feel bad doing it, I speed dial Chris. "Hey, I know it's short notice, but can you watch Amelia tonight for a few hours?"
"Depends. Is it so you can work late, or did you finally get up the nerve to ask that woman out?"
"Her name is Piper, and yes, I asked her out. We're having dinner tonight, if I can find a sitter for Amelia." I can almost see the mischievous smile on Chris's face as she replies.
"Oh, then I'm definitely free. I'll be there in an hour." I thank her and then grab Amelia, who, like always, regales me with stories of her day the entire way home. "Then Isaac got in trouble because he chased Shelley with a marker," she says from her car seat. "When the teacher asked him why, he said he thought she needed a happier face. He was going to draw a smile on her face. Can you believe that?"
What I can't believe is how much this girl can talk. I don't even get a chance to answer her before she continues.
"Of course, she was kind of down today, so maybe it would have helped."
"It's never nice to color on people," I say when she takes a breath.
"I know that."
Her tone informs me that she isn't stupid, Dad.
"Can we have pizza for dinner tonight? Shelley had pizza and it looked really good. It made my stomach growl extra loud when I smelled her piece."
"You and Chris can order pizza. I'm afraid I won't be there." I haven't talked to Amelia about dating, and it's definitely not something I want to bring up on the ride home. But I will have to broach the subject with her soon.
"What? Why not? Do you have to work late again?"
The sadness in her voice hits a nerve, and I wonder if dating Piper right now is really a good thing. Amelia clearly misses me and wants to spend time with me. Maybe I can convince Piper to do dates where Amelia can come too. I know that might not be every woman's dream, but it's a single dad's reality. Of course, Amelia does not need to know or be burdened with any of this, so I simply tell her, "Yeah, I have to work late, but not too late." She sighs from the back seat.
"Okay, but can we do something fun this weekend when you're off?"
Absolutely. Sometimes her ability to switch topics and emotions so quickly works in my favor. As soon as Chris shows up, I jump in the shower, and an hour later, I'm headed to Piper's apartment to pick her up. I take a deep breath to calm my nerves as I park in her complex. I can't remember the last time I felt flutters in my stomach about a woman, and it's a little disconcerting. Stepping out, I run a hand down my slacks to smooth out any wrinkles. Then I square my shoulders and walk toward her front door. When it opens, my breath catches in my throat. It's Piper before me, but in a way I've never seen her before. Instead of her normal button-down shirt and slacks, Piper is wearing a floral sundress and sandals. Her hair falls in loose curls framing her face. "Wow, you look beautiful," I manage to get out. She blushes.
"Thank you. This is Belle's creation. She said I couldn't wear my normal clothes on a first date, though I don't see what's wrong with my normal clothes." I press my lips together to keep from laughing. "Well, I don't think anything is wrong with your normal clothes, but I appreciate the new look." Piper nods and her eyes scan me from head to toe. "You look very handsome yourself."
I should hope so. I spent more time in the bathroom this afternoon than I usually do in a week. But Piper doesn't need to know that. I hold out my arm. "Thank you. Shall we?" She nods and puts her hand on my arm as we walk back to the car.
"There's no mud involved tonight, is there?"
I chuckle. No mud tonight." We reach the car and I open the door for her. "I never asked you, though. How did the shower go after the mud run?"
"You mean showers?" I had to take 3 just to feel like I had all the mud out of my hair, and I'm still not sure it's all out.
Oh no. Well, I promise tonight should be cleaner at least.
I hope so. Piper folds her hands primly on her lap. The dress is Belle's, and she will be annoyed if I get it dirty. I pull into a spot at the restaurant and hold my hands up in surrender.
I promise, no more mud. At least, not until next year.
Her eyebrows lift. You do that every year?
Not every year, but it's a good measure of whether I'm staying in shape or not, so I do them when I can. You ready?
I ask, motioning toward the restaurant. Piper nods and we exit the car. Working out is important to you then?
Staying in shape is. I want to make sure I'm there for Amelia as she grows up. Why do you ask?
I open the front door and hold it open for her as she enters. It just seems like you would have more in common with Charlie than me is all. Her eyes drop to the floor as she speaks.
Too much in common doesn't always work. Sometimes you need to have differences to make it interesting. Charlie is the one with the ponytail, right?
She is. I shake my head.
Then I'm not sure we'd ever work anyway. She's intense.
Piper chuckles. You wouldn't believe how many times I've heard that.
Oh, I think I would.
The hostess takes us to a booth near the back and we slide in.
I hope you like Italian food. I probably should have asked.
Piper smiles up at me. I enjoy Italian. Did you know that lasagna has been in the United States since the late 1800s, though it wasn't popular immediately?
I didn't know that. Have you always been good at that? Spouting off facts?
Pink crawls across Piper's face again. I always loved reading. I'm pretty sure I was a disappointment to my parents because I wasn't outgoing like my older sister or into sports like my brother, so I consoled myself with books. I reach across the table and take her hand. Her self-esteem issues make so much more sense now.
I doubt you were a disappointment to your parents. Are they still around?
Piper nods. They are, but I haven't seen them in a while.
Then maybe that's something we should remedy soon.
She holds my gaze for a moment before moving her hands to grab the menu. Evidently, family is a tricky issue. I'm really glad we did this, Piper says.
Me too.
The conversation stalls for a moment. Not in an uncomfortable way, really, but I fill the silence anyway.
Do you have a wine preference?
She shakes her head. I don't know. I've never tried it. I keep my mouth from falling open, but I'm not quick enough to keep my eyes from widening at her in disbelief. She'd told me she'd never tried beer, but a lot of women don't like beer. I just assumed she was a wine drinker instead.
You've never had wine? I know you're not supposed to ask a woman her age, but you are old enough to drink, right?
I probably should have asked her age. I certainly don't need to land in any legal troubles by dating someone underage, or someone much younger than myself. But I assumed she was 25 at least. She chuckles and pushes her glasses up. Yes, I am of legal drinking age. I just never have.
Not even a taste of alcohol?
Okay, I know this makes me sound like an alcoholic, but I'm not. However, I do enjoy a glass of wine with Italian food and beer with greasy American pub. I'm just surprised by her admission. My college days were filled with people drinking, and I thought that was the normal experience. But I should have known. Piper could be classified as abnormal in a lot of areas, though never in a bad way. She shrugs and looks down at the table. I was always more focused on my grades in school, and I saw enough stupid drunken acts when I was in college to keep me from wanting to try it. And since none of my friends are big drinkers, the opportunity just hasn't arisen.
Well, that makes sense. And it's probably just another mark in the column for how men and women are different. Not that every man's life revolves around alcohol. but as I think about it now, except for crazy parties, it generally was men drinking more than women in my college experience. And honestly, it doesn't matter to me if Piper drinks a glass of wine or not, but I am curious if she's open to trying another new experience. Well, props to you. I hope my daughter grows up as level-headed and smart as you are. However, red wine goes very well with Italian food, and a single glass is sometimes nice to celebrate with. Would you like to try it? It could be another new experience. Piper tilts her head and presses her lips together. If she were a cartoon character, they would flash a picture of gears turning right now, because I have no doubt she is weighing the pros and cons. I wonder if she makes physical lists when she decides on things. I have a sneaking suspicion she does. Finally, she nods. I am agreeable to that. Do you trust me to pick the wine, or would you like to taste a few? You can choose. I'd have no idea where to even start. With that, I scan the listing for a light red with some fruity notes. Having never had wine before, she probably won't like a dry wine as much. When the waitress appears, I place the order for the wine, and then we spend a few minutes perusing the menu. The waitress arrives with our glasses of wine, takes our orders, and then leaves us again. Piper picks up the glass of red liquid. She sniffs it and then takes a tentative sip. Then her face twists and she begins to cough. Are you okay? I ask, hoping she isn't allergic to wine. Is that even possible? If it is, it would be just my luck that I'd order something that would affect her. She takes a swallow from her water glass and clears her throat. I'm fine. I just wasn't expecting the taste. I suppose it does take some getting used to. If you don't like it, you can order something else. No, I'm sure it will be fine. She lifts the glass again and takes a cautious sip. This time she manages to swallow without coughing, but I'm still worried that ordering the wine was a massive mistake.